The initial connection with the ears, the first step, can only be so if the information, the references to the ears are available, that potentially they can feature in the individual's experience, once agreement is established with the real self, to the assistance of the real guides. There is understandably quite a gulf between the awareness of the individual preparing to make this first step and the individual presenting the ears and the new you, in whatever form that will take, personally or through another platform of sharing, such as YouTube, etc. I would suggest that agreement is also made on some dimensional, real-side level between the presenter and the recipient, particularly if the interaction occurs physically, a chance encounter, etc. You can't feature in anyone's experience unless you align yourself with the particulars of that individual's created situation that allows you to be present. The stars must align, in a sense. As an example, if you're a ballroom dancer, you're not very likely to be present in the life of a boxer, unless that which you decide, that which you cause, affects an experience that is aligned with the experiences the boxer generally will be creating. If you were adamant in featuring in that boxer's life, you would have to adjust your causes to align with the individual, that the effect, the experience aligns, and an experience can be shared. We may inadvertently do this with friends and family members, who perhaps are not interested in becoming more aware, but we may still have emotional attachment that dictates our want to have them feature in our experience. We would then seek to align ourselves in such a way that experience can be shared. In essence, we would diminish our awareness to a degree. If we did not, that which we were affecting would be at such odds with theirs that the effect, the experience, would not be at all the same as theirs, and we could not come into conjunction with them. This is why, as we go about our process of becoming more aware, those that fall behind, or those that have no interest in becoming more aware, we must leave behind. For to remain with them would have us aligning with their experience. We would have to match our cause creational ideas with theirs, and if they are operating predominantly from the personal self, then these restricting decisions will become ours also, and we restrict our own progress. To do so would not help them in any form, and all that is the result is the diminishing, limiting, or even abandoning of our journey. That we can retain experience with friends and family who are deciding something different, something of a personal, creational nature only. we can see that this same situation may be so as it pertains to our sharing, particularly our seemingly chance encounters. Although nothing is by chance, everything is cause and effect, decision and agreement. The real purpose is to share and afford the opportunity for others. This is how we earn our awareness, how we earn our way. But to feature in the experience of another individual who, as all will be, when first approaching something presented about the all is, will be very much locked into the personal self, very much locked into creation, the curiosity spurred on by the real self of that individual. To feature in the experience of this unaware personal self individual, an agreement, a decision must be made to exact a similar method of aligning as mentioned. A gulf between the awareness of individuals would need to be diminished, and it would fall upon the aware is sharing individual to do so. Unlike the family members, who perhaps have no interest in the all is, the personal self of the individual here will at least be initially interested, so will be extending beyond the personal self to a degree, as much as they are able, as the personal self will not recognize anything of a value with something that only the real self can see. So to make the initial step is a demonstration of awareness beyond the personal self. Even if it is marginal at first, it must still demonstrate first contact with the individual's real self and their real awareness. Nevertheless, a temporary diminishing is required, a momentary alignment with a created individual and the individual's circumstances, an agreement with the same ideas that allows a shared effect, the shared experience of being in each other's presence. Where I am going with this is that the sharing is a part of earning one's way, and everyone is a free being of real light, and between individuals there is no difference but awareness and recognition of this state. But this sharing does open opportunities for attacks by the dark forces, and the reason these windows can be so must be due to stepping out of the being-isness state, the position where automatic protection is afforded. For if we stand in this state of being in creation, we are beyond cause and effect. We cannot therefore be the recipient of anything, attacks included, because we are not exacting any cause and effect that can have us experience such. But to share has us not only stepping into creation in order to utilize the cause and effect nature of it to present what we do, but that we may find that direct interaction with individuals we are attempting to assist has us aligning with them, that we can feature in their experience, to allow for our sharing. What they are, their created consciousness and their circumstances, is the culmination, the overall effect of what they are deciding, and have decided and agreed upon. And so for us to feature in their effect, in their experience, we must align with the same causes that make them who they are, and where they stand in creation, albeit temporarily, the time required for our sharing, but we still are temporarily deciding to step from our awareness state to facilitate a merging of experience that can only be so if we momentarily agree with the ideas that the individual we wish to share with comprises of, or at least enough of them that we can be a part of their experience. Probably achieved by a real self-temporary agreement alignment to facilitate the shared experience that our personal selves would be unable to exact, or indeed know not how to achieve. The real self is and knows everything, and with our connection to it, and increasingly, if we let life show us what is real now, and the real self takes the reins of our process, we will progress more effectively by keeping the personal self at bay, and not allowing its interjection into matters it is less equipped to deal with, especially matters as they pertain to situations it has no references for, situations that involve the real side, with an awareness that is required to execute such matters that the personal self has no references for and could deal with itself. As mentioned earlier, all individuals in creation will, as a standard foundation, be agreeing with the control and power others, whose ideas of control manifest through the systems of the world, have over them, agreeing that such controllers can do what they wish, to those acquiescing. Potentially and experientially then, those controlled have agreed that at any time they can be intimidated, attacked and eliminated. It's possible then that as the aware sharer of the new you temporarily aligns with the created consciousness of the individual to feature in their experience, they temporarily take on this very notion of potentially being the recipient of attack and elimination by the dark forces that this individual harbours in their agreement database of their personal selves. And it is this that may be what allows windows of attack opportunity to be so, and as every new friend can testify, they all have had experiences where they have received physical or real side attacks as they have been on their process of awareness, as they have continued to share, to align themselves with others, to afford them this sharing and opportunity. so have they opened up these windows, where potentially they can experience an attack, be the effect of a temporarily assumed agreement to the potentiality of attack that all unaware, unconscious, creational dwelling individuals have agreed to as part of their created consciousness. Of course, once we have shared, we tend to revert back to our various states of awareness, and no longer are subject to the same causes as the vast majority who are unaware, and still are locked into decided upon agreements to control and elimination by those that control them. Were we to step into a complete being-isness state, then we would be beyond experiencing any effect we had set in motion. This state of awareness and being-isness would be protection unto itself. But always we will be dipping in and out of creation for the personal self and the various reasons we must deal with it, and as we continually share also, and so consequently there's little chance of avoiding these attacks, as the dark forces always are watching and wait for their opportunity. But the real guides always are on hand also, and the guides, coupled with our real awareness, an awareness that allows us to handle ourselves far better than the personal self ever might, has us in relatively safe hands. But as we can see, creation is made perhaps safer through our awareness, an automatic protection, but nothing in the simulator is absolute, and that includes our safety. There are no guarantees in creation, and this again is why such a journey is for the risk-takers. For to be on this journey is to risk to see and be more than you ever have before, to let go of all that has been decided and agreed upon, to supersede the simulator and the creation that is the personal self. And yes, that might even mean the created self is destroyed or eliminated, but the real awareness remains and is untouchable by anything in creation, no matter how powerful they believe they are, or how powerful they have convinced the personal self they may be. And so I will finish with the New You song. New You